This is week 2 in our course. Let's begin. So, a quick recap about the last session. I introduced myself and asked you about your aim for joining this course, and I described for you the course name. And so, any questions about the before session before starting?
Yes, just one question about the PNG and the JPEG. When do you use? I know the PNG is smaller file and a more what do you call high definition kind of thing. But JPEG, when do you use that, or when is that ideal?
Okay, I don't know why I can see who is talking, but it's okay. The difference between GPG and PNG, not only the size and the quality. Of course, the quality is a big factor since PNG is higher in quality, but the biggest differences between PNG and GPG is the acceptance of transparency. What I mean by that is if we jumped here and clicked like typed like a car and GPG file, and then we want any car. Once the first thing you will notice that most of cars here have a background. But what if I typed car PNG file? Most of the cars here don't have a background. Why? Because PNG can accept a transparent value. Because if this a GPG file, I can't see the car with these boxes, these squares behind it. Because GPG will, if the original photo have a transparent layer, the GPG file will force the layer to have a white background in any place that is transparent or semi-transparent or have a percentage of transparency. He will put a white background for it, but BNG will keep it background, keep it transparent with a transparent background, so we can use it for many things. If I want to save an image with a without a background, I can use it like a PNG. If I want to search for an image without a background, I can search it by typing PNG file. So this image, if I clicked and dragged it, I can see that he is actually dragging the car, not the squares behind it, because I told you before that these squares are indications that it's a transparent layer. So actually I can move the car. But if I try to find another image without actually this is not transparent. This is he wants to mislead me to it's actually to think that it's a PNG, but actually he put this image of squares behind the car manually. So actually it's not PNG. You can see here that I can drag the car with its background. It might be a PNG or might be a GPG. I don't know. It's PNG, okay. But the main idea is GPG is always have a background like this, and PNG, this PNG file you can see here .png don't have a background. If I want, I can make it have a background, but he has the ability to take in transparent value. Everything is good.
Yes, thank you. That was
So let's start in our session. It's very important session. So what we will learn in this session, actually we will learn selection. But before jumping in our main scenario in this session, let's take a refresh and make quick fitness and learn quick easy tool to to put us on the track. So what the tool that we will learn? It's very important tool. Actually, we will always have to use it. It's a paint bucket tool. If you used any software for graphics or any software for designing or painting, you will know this paint bucket tool. And if you didn't use, you actually can assume what it can do. The paint bucket tool, it actually drops a color on all your document or on your or on the layer you have, all your layer. So it's very easy. It just drop a color on the background or layer. So let's try it. Let's first create a new project. I want this size. Okay, let's save the project as paint bucket example and create. Click create. Okay. Now I can select my paint bucket tool. Where is it? Here you can see this is not the tool. If I hovered over any tool, it will say to me what its name. So this is a gradient tool. How if and every tool in if every tools in the toolbar here, if you can see an arrow beside it, that means it's a collection of tools, not one tool. And actually, most of them, no, actually, all of them have this arrow. So if I want to check all the tools it have, like here, the brush tool, I can click and hold now and remove my holding. I can see the other sub tools that are hiding under this collection. So to get the paint bucket tool, we can get it from the gradient tool and click and hold. Now it's visible for us, paint bucket tool. So the paint bucket tool, once we select it, since we selected and click on our document, it put the color green. Why it put green? Because at this area, at the bottom left corner, there is two big colors and two small colors. The big two colors are our colors that are we using. The upper one is called the foreground, and the other one is called background. uh, why are there is two colors since I can only paint or drop one color? Let's first check change the green color. Click here and let's we and once clicking with the green color, a panel called color picker will show to us, and in this panel we can choose any color in the world we want. How? First of all, we have these squares that we can choose any color from it, but it's only green because actually there is a white line on this green path, so we can click on it and move it. So now by moving it we can choose any color we can imagine. I think it's simple, so let's choose golden color like this. Okay, and click OK. And actually he adding to you the information of this color. So if we copied this code and jump it to any software, it will be the same color. So let's click OK. Now in the color swaps, the color of the foreground is changed to golden. So if now I am selecting the paint bucket tool and clicked again on the document, now all my document is in orange. So what if I made a new layer and clicked and changed the color again to like green, for example, and clicked here? All my layer one is changed. Now let's rename it and say that's a green. And if I want to rename this, but I can't move it because this is a logged layer. Let's call it yellow. So now I have two layers. I can hide this and show this. Okay. Why there is two colors? Because actually, in when we get deep in the brush in other sessions, we will learn that actually we can use that both of them at the same time, and also we have two, and so be easy to toggle and switch between them. How? By clicking X on keyboard, will switch my colors, so I can save two colors to switch between them instead of all each time I have to selecting the color. So now I can here select like blue, and now it's blue. Click X to switch colors. Now it's green. Click X to switch color. Now it's blue. Okay, there is also another shortcut for the paint bucket tool, which is D. What if I clicked on D? He will get to me these two colors, black and white. If I click D, Now it's black and white again. So if I selecting the paint bucket tool and click on my document, it's black. Let's click X to switch colors. It's white. Let's click on the document. It's now white. So I want to select my colors again, and so on. So actually, this is the paint bucket tool, and this is the color that I can switch between them. And the paint bucket tool, we can get it from or make its effect from many else places. I will explain it now, but actually most of the time, 99% of the time, you will use it only from this place when if you want. But I will tell you the other places, so you have to so you can understand how to make it. Like for example, you can click on layer, new fill layer. Why new fill layer? Because actually the paint bucket tool is filling our layer with a specific color. So that's what it do actually. So a layer, new file layer. Let's say color fill. Now we can select any color we want. Let's make it like this and click OK. Now he made for us a new layer called a fill layer, and actually it has a different shape than our normal layers, and we will talk later about the types of layers, and we will talk about later about what is this square white area beside our layer. But actually you got the idea. This is the second way to make to fill our layer. The first is the paint bucket tool. The second is layer, new fill layer. Okay, can we use the paint bucket tool on a photo? Actually, yes. Let's check this. Wait a minute, I saved the links here. Okay, okay. So we have this image. I how I got it? I by simply searching on Google. I clicked billboard image, and now I have many images. I selected one. I clicked right click and open image in new tab, and I had this link and I saved only because all this session I will get the photos like this. You will see me getting a link from elsewhere. I only get it from Google. So let's take this link and go here and click file, open more, open from URL, and click Control V and click OK. All this I explained it in the last session. Okay, now we have the billboard. Let's try the paint bucket and click here. Okay, so actually it works on images, but what we find now, it actually don't drop our color on all the layer like the previous example. Here it has a tolerance. What is the tolerance? Here, if we clicked on the paint bucket tool, you will find that the tolerance, the number 40. What that means? It means that when I click when I click anywhere in on the photo, it clicks on a certain color in the photo. What happens is he says to me, okay, I will paint and fill all the layers that have this color and a 40 degrees of this color also. Or a 40 a 40 degrees or 40 tolerance of this color. So actually he will find so actually he painted black on this blue color and other 40 colors after it, and all the 40 colors are all also blue, but there's changes in the code, in the code of the color like I showed you here. This is the code of the color. So actually what if I clicked on red here? Okay, it didn't touch the blue, it only colored the red area. So now you got the idea. So we can use the paint bucket on this on images. Last thing I want to say, you can also get it from edit. Let's make a new layer first. and let's click edit and fill. And here we can say we want to make the use the fill option on the using the foreground or the background color, which is the foreground and the background. So if we click the background, it will paint our layer with white like this. So this was the last way, but also we can click edit and fill, and we can choose a custom color, and here we have a box of color. We can click it and click green, and also we can use the opacity that we knew before. So if I made it like 34%, it will show my color on on the layer with a transparency. And this blend mode, we didn't take it yet. We'll take it in the future like this. Okay. So that was the paint bucket tool. Now, the last thing we want to try before getting in the selection is we knew how to get a brush, and I told you before that we will learn about the brush in other sessions. But what I want to only tell you about brush today is that you can make the brush size bigger by by right click here on the document. After selecting the brush, right click on the anywhere in the document and change the size of the brush like this. Or you can make it from the keyboard with the shortcut on the keyboard. Beside the enter key there is two keys, the two bracket keys. I can show you an image for them. Bracket key on keyboard, square bracket, not this bracket. Okay, here are them. These two brackets, the left one will make your brush smaller, the right one will make your brush bigger. So let's like try it. It's like this. Okay. So this only what I wanted to say before the selection part. Now we tried the Photopea. Now, if you have any question about it, or you can tell me, and you have 30 seconds to try it by yourself before jumping to the selection. Is there a way to add the paint bucket? Because I can't find it on my sidebar. You can't find it because it's hidden. Sorry. You can't find it because it's hidden under the gradient tool. Here you can find it. On the sidebar, click on the gradient tool and hold. The paint bucket will show to you. How do you zoom in on an image? Okay. To zoom on any image, click Control plus or Control minus, and if you press Control plus many times, so are you very zoomed in, so you can move on your document by clicking space and hold and move like this. Let's Control minus again and Control plus or Control minus, click space and move. Okay, everything is good. How do you is just says blending change? What says blending change? In the history. Okay, the history panel actually shows the history of the movements I done in my work. But since it says blending change, so actually you might be clicked on this and then you moved something like this. Okay, you clicked on this button here and you are now clicking on the arrow keys. Click anywhere else and try it. Okay. No one click on this blending option. We didn't take it yet. Okay. So let's move on. Okay. So what we will take today is selection. So what is selection? Selection actually is selecting an area in our document, whether this document is a normal layer or it's a photo, selecting it to work or perform an action on it. Like for example, this image here, we only selecting the dog, uh, or this image here, we selected this fruit, or this image here we selected the horse, or here we selected this cake, or something. So selection is to select something or area in an image or a document to work on it. So why selection is the we have to take it in the second session, because when I was preparing for this course, I write down everything in Photopea, and started to thinking what I should tell you about first, and what I should tell you about the second and the third, and so on. I found out that the selection is actually very essential and very important in learning in Photopea or any graphic software, because actually everything after it using selection. So we can't move on without selection. It's a very important tool in our journey in Photopea. So it's very important, and we have to focus in this session. So okay, but how we will need selection in everything? So you need use cases, right? So we need selection use cases in real life before the digital selection, because I told you before that the digital solution is always an upgrade, not a new thing. Sometimes it's a new thing, but most of the time it's an upgrade. So selection, what is selection in our real life? So let's check this. If you used a ruler like this before, I used like many times when I was young. It helps you to draw something, and always you can get it right, and always you can't draw anything over this selection area. The ruler actually made for you some selection shapes, and you can draw inside it. You can't draw outside of it. So actually this was a selection in real life. Also graffiti, if or you can only also can search for stencil, but graffiti, you can how you can draw it by making a paper and cutting from it the shape you want to paint. So actually you selected a hand before painting it. So when you paint on the paper, the color only goes to the under the paper under it by passing through the cutting area. So actually you made a selection. And also if you want to get a colored paper and cut from it a square or any shape, this is also a selection. And also if you want to make a sponge to make a new brush, and focus on what I am saying, to make a new brush in real life, you have to make a selection. So you're telling me, Ali, that I can make a brush? Yes, we will learn how to make a brush when we jump to the brush session. And actually to make a brush we have to select an area. So selection is very important to us in our journey in Photopea. And if you want to learn GIMP or Photoshop or any other software, you will find all the selection tools we will learn today are actually very similar. So, what is digital selection use cases? So, what we will use selection in real life. For example, we can use selection to remove a background or extract an object. Like this image here, we selected this yellow flower to extract it from the background, and we deleted the background. So, actually, to delete a background or to remove an object, we have to first select. Okay, and also we can select by adding an effect. So we can use it selection for adding effect, like for example the blur effect. If we want to hide a man's face, or if we want to make our background semi blur, to make anyone see our photo focus on us first. So we have to select the background, or we have to select the his face. So to add an effect, and we didn't take the effects yet. To add an effect, you have to make a selection first. Okay, also to make an adjustment like changing a color of a shirt, like changing the brightness, changing our levels. All the adjustment settings we didn't take yet. We will take it in the future sessions, inshallah. So to make an to change our the color of the shirt, it's very easy actually, and we will learn how to make it. But to make it first, we have to make a selection on this shirt to tell him which thing we have to make to change the color. So actually, selection involves in the adjustment also, and also in the color drawing. If you have a black and white drawing and you want to make some colors on it, you want to add this purple color only in this area. So to make it, you have to make a selection. And also, if we want to add this uh, blue color, you also have to make a selection. So actually, selection is involving in everything. And also, if you want to retouch some things in someone's face, you can use selection also. So selection is everywhere we will use it. So what is again? It's selecting an area from an image or from a blank document to add color, to add effect, to cut an object, to perform any action I want. So there is so many tools and ways for selection in our world. And also there is so many tools and ways for selection in Photopea only, and inshallah we will try to learn all of them today inshallah. So let's try them on Photopea now. So let's jump to Photopea, and no, not now. Okay, let's find the photos that we want now. Okay, I found it. Okay, let's close all these projects now. When I opened all these, oh, okay, I can remember now that when I was preparing, I am working here. Okay. Okay, let's actually delete those layers. Okay. The first selection tool we will learn today is very simple selection tool, which is the rectangle selection tool. We can find it at the top left corner here. On hovering the in any tool, you can find its name, and this is very useful because you can search about it. So the first selection tool we have is the rectangle selection tool, and once hovering on it, we can see its name, and that's very useful. So we can search for it if we don't understand what actually it can do. And once you search for it, you will find tons of videos for this, for anything in Photopea. But it might be in other softwares, Gameboard, Photoshop, but you can write Photopea to only check these videos. Okay, let's try this rectangle selection tool. Click on it. Okay, okay. Once we clicked on it, our cursor changed it to this plus icon. So if I want to make a selection like a rectangle selection, let's first make it in a new layer. Okay, if we want to make a rectangle selection, what we can do is click and still holding and drag. Now I can see that I'm drawing a rectangle. Okay, but I am still holding. Once I leave my mouse like this, you will find that the rectangle is actually dotted, have some dotted border, but it's not a drawing, not something in our layer, because if we hide it our layer, it actually still there. So if we had the under it layer, it actually still there. So actually there is no layers are shown, but this border is still shown here because it's not a painting. It's only shown to you in your software. So if we show the layers again, it's only a selection. This selection is the area we can work on it now. So when we choose the brush tool and make it smaller, if I tried to now use this tool here, nothing happened. I'm clicking the mouse and you can see that I'm clicking the mouse from the history panel here. I'm clicking and nothing happened. But what if I move the mouse inside the selection? Okay, I have to click here. Okay, I'm coloring with white. Sorry. Okay, let's make it like this. Okay, let's click here. Nothing happened. And let's move inside the selection. You can now understand what I am saying. Now I can only draw in the selection area. So now I draw it in the selection area. Okay, let's Control Z and choose the paint bucket selection tool and click here on this, the selection area. Let's click first out the selection area. Nothing. How? Okay, let's make a new layer to. Okay, there is this. This is a bug because it will not happen in Photoshop. I will don't have to make you confused by Photoshop on Photopea, so I will close Photoshop. Okay, so actually this is a bug. All we have to focus now is that paint. Actually, I can't paint anything outside the selection area. Okay, this is the selection tools. Okay, so now I want to pick to remove my selection. How to do it is by clicking select and then deselect. Now my selection disappeared and now I can paint anywhere I want. Okay, let's Control Z and let's make the selection again and let's make our paint again. How to deselect? You can select and deselect, and also we can click Control D. So if I press Control and D, the selection disappears and now I can draw anywhere I want. So now we can deselect and any selection I want. So can I let's try this selection on the billboard photo that we got. So open from URL and click OK. Now we have this billboard. So let's try to remove the background. Let's try it by clicking the rectangle and clicking on this here and dragging and making it like this. So I am now selecting the billboard. What I want to do now is to delete the background and extract the billboard only. What if I clicked on delete on the keyboard, the delete button on the keyboard? What happened is actually erased the billboard itself, not the background. So what I want to do now is actually to inverse selection. I want him to say, I want to select everything, but this area that I selected, only this area don't want it to be selected. How to make this is by inversing our selection. How to inverse the selection? To click select here. This select option here we will use a lot this session. By clicking select here and then clicking on inverse. Now I inversed my selection and you can see that another selection area outside here are made. And now if I click delete, I deleted everything but the selection I have. So now we actually removed as a background and have this object on its own. So now we can click on the move tool and we can move our photo now. That's very cool. But the problem is if I want my sky now or my background now, it's damaged. I can't get it again because I don't have any layers here except the layer of this billboard street. So let's Control Z and get here and click Control Delete. A very important lesson in selection is anywhere when you want to make a selection, you have to duplicate your layer. To duplicate a layer, you can click on layer and drag it and put it on the new layer button and it will duplicate it. Or you can click Control J. Control J. It will duplicate it. Or you can right click and click on duplicate layer. It will duplicate it. Why duplicate? To hide this layer and click and rename it like draft or backup, and use this as billboard. And this is a billboard backup. Always when we want to make a selection to make any thing on our photo, especially removing a background or extracting an object, we have to make a new layer to not damage our main and only source of the image, so we can return back to the original one. So now we can make our selection, and we can click Control and plus to zoom in, and space to move on our document. And let's here click and drag and drag. Okay, very slow. Okay, let's here and remove. Okay, control minus, control minus, control minus, and click space and hold, and click on mouse and move. Now let's click select, inverse, and delete. Now control D to remove the selection. Now we have our billboard street image, and if we anytime wanted the original photo, we can click here on the show icon, and it's shown for us here. So actually this is very cool, and we have always to duplicate our image before selection. And that was the rectangle selection tool, and how to make a select and to deselect and to inverse a selection. And we learned how to duplicate a layer. So actually also since now we learned on the select how to inverse and how to deselect, let's learn also what all means and all does, because to close this section and to be learned everything in this section. Once clicking on all, it's actually logical, it will select all like this. Actually it made a selection about everything. So if we clicked on, if we hide the billboard layer and click on the billboard backup layer and click delete now, it deleted everything because I selecting everything. Now we have an empty layer. Let's control Z and click control D. So if I have a selection now and I clicked on control A or clicked on select all, and here he tells me it's a shortcut of control A, or it has a shortcut control A, it will select everything I have. How do you add another image to an image by selecting? Okay, I will say that now. First of all, we have to know that now we learned about select, deselect, and inverse, and select all. We have to learn something more about the rectangle, and I will tell you how to add another image on an image selected. It's actually this all the trick is to import an image. I actually explained that before the last session, but I will tell you. We have to click file and open and the place and select any image like this and click yes. Now you have this image also, and you can select on it as you want like this, and let's delete it. Okay, it will say to you it's a raster, a smart object layer. Click here, right click, and click rasterize layer. Once this message, guys, when once this message appear to you, smart object must be rasterized first. Click on the image, right click, and click rasterize. What is a rasterization? I didn't tell you about it yet. I will tell you about it in the second other sessions. So now you can actually delete this part of the layer, and now we have two selected images of each other. Now we learned how to select any area, but something I want to tell you about. Now if we moving the selection of the rectangle, actually have it's not a square. I want to make it like a square. How to make it? It's exactly like a square. is by clicking shift while I am moving my selection. So now I am holding the selection. Let's click Control D to deselect the rectangle selection tool. Now we can click on it and click shift and move. Now you can see that everywhere I can move my mouse, it makes the selection as a square like this. So now I have a square uh, area to select. Let's click on the billboard backup layer and click delete. Now this area is deleted. Okay. So the selection area also we can move it by hovering over the selection area and click and move. Now we can move our selection area and click delete. Okay. Remember when I told you each tool in the toolbar, when we click on it, will show us a different properties upside here. Yeah, that when clicking on the rectangle selection tool, we have some more options here. For the visitor option, I will not say it about it now because I will explain it later in this session. And also refine edge, I will explain it later in this session. Why? Because in all the selection tools you will find these two options, and so I will explain it once at the end, and it's time now. So in the rectangle selection tool you can find here, it's here selected on free, so I can make the selection free, or fixed ratio. I can say to him a 1 to 2, a 1 to 1, or 1 to 2. It will only make me this shape. And also fixed size, it's now once I click, it always will make to me this size. I can't make it bigger or smaller. Okay, I am telling this, but it's not important. This area is the combination of more selections, how he deals with it. So if I click on replace, what happens is when I make a selection and then remove the mouse and click again, it will make another selection. If I clicked on unit, it actually will add the selection. So now when I click another time on the selection, it will add the selection. It will not make a new one. So if I click delete, it's deleting this area. And also if I clicked on subtract, now I am removing from the selection like this. And if I clicked on intersect, now you will have the intersection between the new selection and the old selection like this. But almost most of the time we will click on this is the intersection. Most of the time we are using the place button. So now I want to explain the another tool of selection, which is ellipse. Once clicking on it, you can find that it has the same options. Actually, so I will not explain these tools again and not these options again. Actually, we will not use these options much, and actually you can search about it also, or you can check the video. You can to remember it about the visor and the refine edge. I will tell you about later. But let's try to use this ellipse tool. Now we can make any selection like this ellipse and click delete. Or if we want to make it like circle, how to make it? Guess, by shift. Click and click shift and hold shift and move. Now I'm holding on the mouse and the shift. Now it makes like this. And let's click delete. Okay, cool. Okay, now when I make a selection and I want to add that new selection to it, I can click shift and make my selection. Now I have the two selections are added together. Okay, if I want to remove some from the selection, I can click alt and make like the selection, and I'm removing from the selection. Click delete, I remove this area from my image. So to add a selection, click shift and hold and make the selection, or to remove a section, click alt and hold and remove the selection. Okay, cool. What is anti-alias? Okay, I will explain it now, but it's not important at all. So you can, if you don't understand it, it's not. You don't have to worry. It's not important. Anti-aliasing, for very summary, is actually how to deal with curves, because actually we learned that uh, the any image is made of pixels. So if we zoomed a lot, we will find these pixels. These pixels are always squares. So actually he telling us if I made a curved um shape like this, how to deal with it is by making some squares with this color and with some changing in opacity to make it like this, or um, to make it very squares only, no between layers. So actually this is aliasing, but it's not important at all. You will most of the time, or actually you might never use it. So actually I wanted to say it to know it only, but it's not important. So any questions about the last part, and try it on by yourself. You have 2 minutes. Okay, let's return again to Photopea. So the next thing we want, the next selection tool we want to learn is the lasso selection tool. So let's bring here an image. Okay, okay. File, open more, open from URL, and Control V and click OK. Okay, this tool we want to make a selection on it. We knew how to make it with using a rectangle tool and the ellipse tool. Let's jump to a new tool, which is the lasso tool. Let's select it, and also we have this plus icon. Now we can click and move to check what actually it can do. So actually it makes a line. So what if I removed I'm still holding the left click button on the mouse. What if I removed my hand? Okay. So actually what happened now, the line is drawing the selection border, and if I didn't close the area of the drawings that I made, it will make a straight line between the end point and the first start point, and will make a straight line to close the selection area. Now I made a selection which is very shaky and very handy. So if I click delete, now I deleted this area I made. So the lasso tool, I will can try to make it around the the, the ball, but it's very difficult. So most of the time, lasso tool you can use it using like a graphic tablet like this, because it's very useful in cases like this. So if I wanted to make it using this graphic tablet, it's okay. Let's make it like this. It's now less shaky than the mouse, because actually the graphic tablet is far at the left of my hand, so it's not easy to move. I'm not clicking with the mouse, I'm clicking with the pen. It's better actually than the mouse. So the lasso tool you will not use it as much, but it's useful only for very quick selection like this. Also it's very it's a tool we to know about it. It also has this replace and unit and subtract and intersect options as the other selection tools. And also if I'm selected an area, if I want to add an other selection for it, I can click shift and other selection and click delete. Now I have two these areas. If I want to remove a selection, I can click alt and click and still hold alt and remove this area and click delete. If I want to make a new selection, I remove my left hand from the keyboard and click anywhere. I made a new selection. Okay, click Control D. That was the lasso tool. So let's jump to and also you can find the anti-alias option, and you can also check that all it has also the refine edge and the feather button, and we will explain them later. So now let's jump to the new tool, which is the polygonal lasso select tool. Once clicking and holding the lasso tool, this polygonal lasso tools appears. Let's click on it, and now we can use it. What happens is it's not by holding this selection tool, the first selection tool we have now, by not holding. So how to use it is by clicking and moving your mouse. I'm not holding now, my two hands are here, and the selection is still there. And moving my mouse and click here, and then move my mouse and click here, and click here, and click here. Okay, what happened now is I clicked by mistake double click. If I clicked by mistake double click, it will stop my selection and will make a straight line between the start point and the end point, like this. And let's click delete. If you want to close the selection, we can make like this, and click here and click, and it will close the selection. If the end point is far from the start point, to close the selection we have to click double click. Okay, so why it might be useful that this tool is for something like this. Let's click file and open more, open from URL, and click Ctrl V and click OK. If we want to cut this door, for example, first thing we have to do before removing anything or selection, to duplicate our layer by dragging it to the new layer and hiding the last one to make it like a backup. And let's select this door. So Control plus to zoom, Control minus to zoom out, space and hold to move in our document. Let's click here and remove our mouse and click, click, and click. And now space and move, and click here, click space and move, and click on the mouse, and space and move, and click on the mouse, and space and move, and click the mouse, and space and move, and click, space and move, and click, space and move. Okay, Control minus, now space here. Now I have a selection for the door. Let's click select and inverse selection, and click on delete on keyboard. Now click on Control D to deselect our selection. Now we have our door. We can click on move tool, and we have our tool. Our door is separated. We couldn't make this selection using the rectangle select tool or the ellipse select tool or the lasso select tool. We can only make it using this tool or the other tools that we will learn. So each tool actually has its own benefits. So it's very cool now. Let's control. We don't have to control Z to return to the main picture, because we have a backup. No, actually, you have the lasso tool, but the lasso tool and the polygonal tool and the magic, the other these tools that we will learn now, magnetic tool, they are all at the top left corner here. These tools, if you click and hold, you will find the other tools. If the polygonal tool is shown to you, click and hold, and the lasso tool will be shown. If the lasso tool is shown, click and hold, and the polygonal tool will be shown. Thanks for helping with the shortcut, and very good job to be noticing that this L is here means the shortcut. Very good job. Um, okay, now the magnetic lasso select tool. Let's try it. Now we cut it. We could cut the door with the polygonal tool. Let's use this select magnetic tool. What happens is the magnetic lasso tool, to use it well, you have to put it on the border of the thing you want to select. Here, I clicked one click and removed my hand. Let's move the mouse without holding anything and see what happens. Let's move again my mouse here, and let's close this. I made a, a move around the door. Let's click to close the selection here. Okay, let's click select inverse, and first we have to duplicate to not destroy my original image. Let's hide the original image, and let's click on delete while we are selecting our layer here. So what happened now is the magnetic tool actually tries First of all, the magnetic tool, you have to click on a border between two colors. Then move your mouse. The magnetic lasso tool actually tries to match up these colors and to predict where the selection should go. So actually here it's not very useful, but it might be more useful with this image here. File, open more, open from URL, Control V and click OK. Okay, let's click on the magnetic lasso select tool, and we want now to select a car. Click here on the border of the car and move. I am now my hands, I am only moving the mouse. Oops, sorry. Okay, let's move the mouse carefully. Okay, here is this area. He can't predict it. He always make it wrong. So I can click here to make an identification for him. So I can use it as a polygonal tool, but always he will make some predictions. Now I'm moving my mouse and he is predicting. Okay, this is hard for him. I will click and will move my mouse. Okay, I will click here because it's hard for him. Now he can understand this is something a part of the car and I'm moving them. Okay, he don't understand this. Look, he is moving the mouse. So I will click here. I will help him by clicking, and here he can't understand. I will help him by clicking here, clicking here, clicking here, and move my mouse only. Okay, he don't understand here. Okay, okay, it's messed up here. Okay, and let's double click or click on the endpoint, and let's select inverse and deselect. Now we selected the car using the magnetic lasso tool, and actually these tools I don't use as much, but I have to tell you about it first because if I told you about the other tools, selection tools, you will not be interested in these basic selection tools, but actually they are important to know because sometimes you will need to use them actually, not for only selecting a part and removing. I am only making, for example, how to remove an image, but also you can make a new layer and have the paint here and paint on your selection. So selection is not used only for cutting, remember, it's used for adjustment, used for coloring, used for retouching, used for changing a color, and removing an object. So removing an object and extracting background is a part, is a something we can make after selection. It's not the only thing you use by selection, but I am performing it for as an example. So that was lasso and polygonal and magnetic lasso tools. So before jumping to the other tools, try it on yourself, try it by yourself. And any questions till now? How to delete the background again is by pressing delete on the keyboard. Delete keyboard, this button here. You can find it on your keyboard here or here, or if you are a laptop, you will find only this button. Can you show that again? How do you delete the background? To delete a background is after you make your selection, you click. If I After you make a selection, if you click the delete, it will delete what you selected. So what we want to do is selecting the other area, not our selection. So we have to inverse our selection. So we click on select inverse. Now we inverse our selection. We click on delete. Now we delete the background. How do you don't? How do you not draw on something but draw on anything? uh, how do you not draw on something? Okay, make different layers. Yes, thanks, Dua. Thanks. Actually, many of these questions. Uh, uh, Good job, Dua. Good job. Make different layers, and now I want to make a different layer, and I paint like this. Everything. I want to paint on a special area, so I make a selection, and I draw like this. Sorry, I click on the paint like this. So actually, that's a minute. Now you have another minute to ask questions about the last part and to try it by yourself. The lasso select tool, the polygonal lasso tool, the magnetic lasso tool. I assume if there is no question that everything is good, right? Remember, the selection is very important actually in Photopea and Photoshop. Okay, so now we finished many tools. Let's jump to the other tool here. So no questions? Okay, let's continue on Photopea. The other tool we will learn now is the magnetic sorry, the magic wand tool. So let's close this, and let's close this also, and let's file, open more, open from URL, Control V, click OK. Now we have this image for Muhammad Salah. The magic wand tool, how to get it from here. This is the tool. We can hover on it and you can find it's called magic wand tool. So click on it, and what happens now is once we want for example to select the t-shirt of Muhammad Salah. How to do it? Let's first zoom, Control plus and space and move. Let's click on this red area here. So what happened here? He actually tried to select all the red area. According to what? Remember the paint bucket when I told you that it has a tolerance that it colors and fills the colored pixel and some other colors around it? It has the same thing. Tolerance here means that there is 16. Let's explain tolerance way more better. Let's create an other project. Let's make it like this. Let's make here green. Let's make it all green, and let's make a red dot in the middle. Okay, let's move. Let's try here the magic wand. What happens if I click now? It selects all the green. Okay, let's Control D. Let's try to click on the red. It selects actually most of the red. What happens if I click the tolerance to 1? It will only select the pixels. Let's make another let's make another green also, like this. Okay, now if I clicked now the magic wand, it okay, let's make another green also. Okay, here some degrees of the green color. So let's try the magic wand here. What happens is it tries to take this green color that I selected and a 16 color from it. If I made this tolerance 250 and let's click Control D and click here, what happens is actually selecting all the area, because actually he's trying to find a 250 colors. So actually he could take all the colors. So if we make it like 100 only and click Control D and click here, it actually took all the green colors and part of the degrees of the blue color and the blue color, sorry, the red color, and the red color it didn't take. So let's Control D and make this 1 and click here. It okay, I didn't pick it. 1 here. Okay. Okay, now it only take the exactly replica color of this pixel. I don't know why he didn't take this image, but that should be means that they are different colors. So let's click on on the color here. Once clicking on the color picker, we can move and click anywhere in our area, and it will absorb this color. So if we click here, we will take red. So let's click here. Okay, this is the code. Let's click here. Okay, you can see it now. If I clicked here, check this code, the hex code, and let's click in this area that he didn't select when we make the tolerance one. It has another code. So for a mistake, Photopea colored this area with a different color, different code color. So the magic wand tool didn't take it. It only takes the tolerance of one. This part of tolerance is understandable. Are you understand it? Very cool. Okay, I will assume that it's good, inshallah. Okay, now if we made the tolerance one, and let's make Control D and let's make the magic wand tool and let's make the tolerance one and click here. Okay, it will only select this area. What if I made it like 42 and click here? It will take this area. What if I made it like 60 and Control D? Let's make it. It actually took most of the red color. Let's make here, let's make here, let's make here. What you notice when I click in anywhere else, that he removes the selection I made and make a new selection in the area I made. So actually I don't want to make this. I want to select his shirt. So what I want to make it now is adding a selection. Is how to add a selection by holding shift. How to remove a selection by holding alt. So let's click here and hold shift and click here and here and here and here. I want to add a tolerance of 60 colors of these colors and this color also and this color also. Cool, very cool. Now I want to add also the black. Okay, I don't want to add the black. Control Z. Okay, he took some part from the background here. So let's remove the selection. How? By hold Alt and click here and click Shift and click here. Alt, Shift, Alt, Shift, and until it be cool. And also we can combine some more tools of selection to make it better. Like for example, now the magic tool give to me it its maximum. So now let's choose the polygonal tool and make it here, make it help the magic wand tool. Here I clicked shift and holding shift to add the selection of the polygonal tool to the selection. Oh sorry, I didn't click shift before. Okay, now I am holding shift. Now I am adding the selection of the polygonal tool with the selection of the magic wand tool. Double click. Now, why? It's a bug. Okay. Okay, it's adding. Okay, what the problem is? Okay, don't know what happened, but it's working actually. Okay, I click shift and remove shift and selecting this area and again click shift and double click and click minus. Let's select inverse and let's click delete. Now I selected the shirt of Muhammad Salah. Okay, now the new thing in the mashing wand tool, these properties we learned about it. The tolerance we learned about it. The anti-alliance we learned about it. The refine agent visor I told you that we will learn about it. So what is this contiguous toggle here? Contiguous means that I told you that tolerance means that we will get the color that I click on it and 60 other colors, right? Yeah, right. But what the contiguous flag here means, the checkbox here means that he will take 60 colors of the neighboring pixels. But if I removed it and I clicked the magic wand on this part of this Muhammad Salah again, you can find that I actually selected some red from Trezeguet here, from this man here, and some selections from these other areas that are not contiguous or not connected with this part of the arm that I selected on. So if I click delete now, it deleted some other parts that are not continuous with each other. It actually like picking a color and its tolerance. So this was the magic wand tool. So let's check now the quick selection tool, and it's actually the mostly used tool. Let's click and hold on the magic tool. We have here the quick selection tool. Let's click on it, and it's very simple. It's a smart selection tool. Let's control plus space and move. What I want to do is selecting Muhammad Salah. All I should do is remember it's like the brush. It have the brush icon, so we can make this brush bigger and smaller. How? By clicking right click and making the size change, or by clicking the square brackets. Okay, now let's make it small, and let's click here and drag. What happened? Actually, it selected the most of this area. Okay, I want to add, if I want to select this short, if I clicked, it actually adds the selection automatically without holding shift. My left hand is here, and it actually adding the selection without clicking a shift. If I want to remove the selection, I click alt and remove this. Okay, I click and hold alt. What happens? Okay, if this problem happens with you, click on this here, and let's try. Okay, it's working now. It was an issue from the website. I think most of these issues will not happen if you download it, as we said before. Okay, now I am clicking on areas I want to select, and click alt and remove the selection of the things I want to deselect. Now I selected Muhammad Salah. That was very cool. No, I don't want this area. Click alt and move. Okay. This is a quick selection tool, but I want to tell that this actually is a magic tool. Let's click select and inverse. And before that, we have to duplicate the layer, and let's click delete. Now we selected Muhammad Salah very easily and very fast with this quick selection tool. What happens is actually it's working like an AI. It predicts where the selection should go. Let's try the selection tool again, quick selection tool again with another photo. Like this. Let's try the selection tool. I am clicking and dragging. Here I'm clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging. Okay, now I took all the man, but I took some more parts. So let's click alt and hold and remove this. Click alt and hold and remove this. Click alt and remove this. Click alt and remove this. Let's control minus and select and inverse and delete and control D. So I selected this man very fast. So is there another way selection easier tool? Yes. Let's click on this quick selection tool and hold and click on object selection tool. This object selection tool, it's actually very easy. I can click, it's similar to the rectangle tool in working. So I can click and drag, so it's now making for me a rectangle. So I made this shape to tell him this the object I wanted to select. Let's remove the mouse. It actually tried to select the shirt, and let's select inverse and delete. It only selected the shirt, but selected it very cool and very good and very quick. I can enhance it by using other tools, but it can help me a lot. For example, we can check the object selection tool by clicking File, Open, More, and Open from URL, and let's check this image. I can select these oranges by this object selection tool very easy, like this. Like select, inverse, duplicate layer, and let's click delete, and it's selected very easily. So the object selection tool is very easy and very cool tool to select anything. And of course, and let's try the last tool we have. Not the last tool in this session, last tool before letting you try. This object selection tool might actually not work well in images like this. It actually didn't select it good, very good. So another selection tool, but it's not actually a selection. It's only for removing background, not selection. Selection can be used for adjustment and for many other cases, but this tool is only for removing background. Is the background eraser. You click on this tool over the bucket, paint bucket, is this tool here, and hold. You will find it's called the eraser tool, and you will find that there is a tool. It's called background eraser. It's a magic eraser. When you click on it and try to here and erase, okay, it's erasing my image. What is the magic? It's like the eraser. The magic happens when I try to erase the object. Actually, he knows that this is an object. Sometimes it fail, but most of the time it knows that this is an object. But you have to erase it from the border. You can't erase it like this, it will be erased, but you have to erase it from the border like this. So you can erase the background easily by this, but actually I never use it for real, yeah. But it's good. So now let's return back. Uh, okay, so a question: how to save a selection for future use? Now, let's assume you have made a lot of work. Selection, actually, to do a selection, you can't do it like me very fast. I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it only to explain for you. But when I want to make a selection, I can make a selection in like an hour, and it doesn't matter for me. Um, for example, I will show you something. This is my old YouTube channel. Let's check on the videos.
What's your new YouTube channel?
Okay, I'll tell you about it. Okay. See this video? I want to make a photo like this. Sorry for delaying. Quick, man, quick. Okay. I wanted to make a photo like this. So I have to select myself, right? Okay. To select myself, actually, I did it in so long time. To see it, we can find here the moment of truth where I selected myself. Okay, here. I took a photo for me. My internet connection is very bad. Okay. I took a photo for me and I started to remove the background in so many times. I will explain these tools in another video. And also there is another video here, but actually sadly I didn't upload it. It took me like an hour to select an object. Why? To make it perfect. Okay. The question we have now: how to save a selection? For assuming you have a selection and you made it in like an hour and you want to save the selection to work on it later. How to save a selection? Can anyone tell me? It's a problem solving question. You actually can save a selection, but by what you learned until now, but it's tricky. No one can tell me. I can't see if there someone. Okay, no one. Okay, I will tell you. In Photoshop, you can save a selection by clicking select and save selection. يعني, right? يعني for example, if I made this selection, I can click here, select, save selection. But Photoshop have another button called load selection to load a selection. But it's in Photopea, it's not made for, so it's an issue in Photopea or a bug. So if you want to tell him that there is a bug and you want to enhance this Photopea software, you can click here and report a bug and follow the instructions. So how to save a selection if you want is, for example, I want to save this selection of Muhammad Salah, is by file, save, and let's click on save, export, sorry, export as PNG and click save. Now I have the image with no background. So now if I clicked and dragged this image here, for example, I have Muhammad Salah with no selection. So it's very easy. Actually, I'm saving my photo after I selected it as PNG and importing it again whether anywhere I want. So what if I want the selection of Muhammad Salah, not Muhammad Salah itself? So this is the thing that I didn't tell you about, but the answer is to take the solution is to how to get a selection from a layer is by clicking control and press control and click on the layer you want to get selection of. So I'm holding control and will click on Salah layer. Now you can find I selected only the Salah layer. So if I painted over it with black, okay, I have to make it a raster layer. Now you can find that I am only coloring Salah. Okay, I can hold the control and click on the paint layer. Now I am only selecting this paint. So now can only paint on this painting. So actually this is how to select a layer. So if, for example, I want to select a layer of this image here. So this image here, it's a PNG image. So if I dragged it and download it here, okay, it's a web, not PNG. Let's find a car PNG file, image. Okay, this is a PNG file. Let's add it here and drag, and let's go to Google Chrome and add it in Photopea, for example, here. Okay. Let Control D and hide these layers here. Now we have the car and it's a PNG file. So I can get its selection. What if I painted on it now? Okay, rasterize it. What if I painted on it now? I can paint on anywhere I want. But I want is to paint on this image only. So I want to select it. So I have two options. Is to select it manually by any mean, any tool from this like this, and then paint, but this will take a time, and I have the image PNG, so I click control and hold and click on the image, and let's click on paint and let's paint. Now I am painting only on the PNG image. Okay, you have 2 minutes to try it by yourself, these tools. Okay.
Can you I'm sorry, can you save a selection from your keyboard, or do you have to go on your file and then save selection? Like Control S, you can do it like that.
Okay. Save the selection. You mean that without the control and click on the layer?
Yes.
Okay, yes, there is another ways. You can do it like this. Right click on the layer and click on select pixels. That will select on the layer.
Oh, okay, but you have to do it that way. You can't do it from your keyboard. You have to go in there like that.
The keyboard, you can hold control and click on the layer, but the keyboard only, there is
Yes.
no shortcut for this on Photopea.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. It's a very good question.
I sent you the two images that I was telling you about at your email.
Okay, thank you. I will check them after the session, inshallah. Okay, let's jump to the next part. It's this part. Now we learned about select, all, deselect, and inverse. Now we want to learn about the transform selection. Let's, or not now. Let's first learn about select, modify. What is select, modify? Let's here take an image first. Or make a new, create. Okay. Now I want another one, bigger one. Okay, great. Now I want to make a rectangle selection here, or a square. I holding shift and moving, and I will move my selection like this. Okay, now the paint bucket tool is working. Okay, let's make it like this color here. Okay, now I have a selection like a square, and I'm clicking to make a square color, right? This will help us to understand the options of select, modify, and these settings. So let's learn it one each by each. Let's try to select, modify, and border. What happens is asks me how is the width of the border you want. Let's tell him 5 pixels and click OK. What happens is making a border of the width 5 pixels around my selection. Now by clicking here, I am only making this border selection. Okay. The other way is to select modify, and I have two other options, expand and contract. Let's try expand. Expand is will expand my selection with like 15 pixel, and let's click OK. Now my selection expanded. Let's make it smaller. Let's click modify and contract by 50 pixels. Now my selection got smaller. Okay, let's check modify. Select modify and smooth. Click on it. Will make my selection smoother at our edges and our borders. So if I make it very big, it will make a very radius border at our edges, and it will be more readable from here. If I make the polygonal tool to make a shape like this, if I made a selection, select, modify, smooth, and make it like this, and color, it will make me a shape like this. Okay. Now we know the border, the smooth, the expand, the contract, the feather. The feather, if you remember, it appears at all the selection, at the properties of all the selection tools. What actually it makes is making a feather. What is feather? It's like, I will show you and you will understand. Let's click feather, and what happens here? I'm selecting the feather applies at the borders. So I am saying to him, apply the feather on a 50 pixel at each border, and let's click OK. It will make it smooth, and when we click here, you will find that the border is feathered out. So it's like a gradient color from the selection and outside the selection. So what happened if we made it on this area here? If we selected this and make it feather and make it like 10 and clicked here and deleted, it will feather out the selection actually. So the selection is not harsh. That's what the feather actually do. So now what I want to tell about also Okay, thank you very much. I will take this here and save it. And to read it again. Thank you a lot. Okay, what I was doing here, open file, open more, open URL. Okay, here. Okay, I didn't copy the link. Okay, if I want to select a specific color, I told you how to use it by clicking on the magic wand tool. But there is also another way, is to click select. We now learn about all the select and inverse and modify. Let's check the color range by clicking on color range. Now I can specify a specific color and its range. So I will click on this red color and specify from here how many of this color I want. So let's make it like this and click OK. Now he selected all the shades of red I wanted. So this is the select color range. The last thing, not the last thing. Now let's move to refine edge. This refine edge button you find a lot in the selection tools that we learned. So now you finally will learn what it actually do. Let's click file, open more from open from URL, Control V and click OK. Okay, now we are facing a big problem here. We want to select this man, but his hair is curly, so it's very hard for me to select each hair for him. How to select this and select this? It's a pain. It's very hard. So how to make it is by refine edge. So let's first selecting this man by the magic, not the magic, the quick selection tool. I clicked this quick selection tool and selected him. It's selected easily. Let's now click on select and refine edge. Okay, refine edge moves me to another window here. If I want to close it, I can click here on X. And let's open it again. Let's click select refine edge. It shows me on the left a screen for the image, the original image, with the selected area in light color and the deselected area on darker color, and on the right an image with the output image on the right. So we can find that I selected actually the hair with the yellow background. So how to remove it? First of all, to make anything on this window, we have to click on any color of these three colors and make the brush on this left image. So what if I clicked on white and make it like this? What happens is actually selecting an area from the photo. So what if I clicked on black and make like this? I am deselecting this area from the photo. Let's select again this white area. Okay, so what gray actually do? Gray tries to find if this object selected have extra part from it that is very thin, like for example a hair or a tree. So what if I clicked on gray and move it on the borders of his hair, like this, like this, like this, like this. I'm still holding. Let's remove the mouse. Now you can find the hair is actually selected. So actually when clicking Control plus and moving, the hair is selected very good with very easy tool, but still not selected at this part of the right part. I can make it here again. Okay, let's make it here and here and here. Now it's very good. Let's click OK. And before clicking OK, you can check here a checkbox. I can check a new layer or a selection. I can tell him duplicate my layer and make a selection on it or and delete the background, or I can make him a selection only. So if I click selection and click OK, what happens is made for me the selection, so I can make select inverse and delete. But I can click on refine edge and click no, I want a new layer, and click OK. He made the process for me. He duplicated the layer and removed the and made the select inverse and deleted the selection. So now I have the man with his hair. Now I can control and select the layer here and paint. Now I can see that I'm painting his hair is very selected, selected very good now. So this is how to select a hair, and this is what the refine edge do. So actually we learned everything in this select panel except the transform selection, the quick mask selection, and magic cut. So let's learn about them quick now. Open from URL, Control V, and click OK. Okay, let's make a rectangle selection and learn about the transform selection. Transform selection actually makes me can make transform options on a selections like this. And we learned about the transform options in another time. So let's click X. Okay. What about the magic cut? The magic cut is similar to the refine edge in a way. Like first, let's we don't have to duplicate it. Let's click select and click magic cut. It opens for me another window, and it's tried to make a selection on its own. He tried to predict what I want to selection, and he knew that I want to select the car, and I want to remove the background. So he tried to make it for me. So actually how it works like this. Green, I can the left side I can paint on it. The right side is the output image. How to work on it is coloring, painting green on stuff of that I want to select, and painting red on the background. I can hover background, I can hover foreground. Gray is to erase it. So now selecting green and painting on the car here. He understands the objects that I want here, 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 here. Okay, but I don't want this mountain, so I can click on gray and erase this green. Now he understands. And also to make it understand more, I can tell him no, this area is the background, I don't want it. Color it with red. Now he selected very good. Let's click on green again and help him more that this is the car I want. Okay, let's make him help him again here. Okay, let's click OK, and also we can check new layer or selection. Let's click OK. Now I can select my car easily by painting the foreground, and the background I have still my background. Okay, so you have 1 minute 2 minutes to try it on your own. Let's move forward. Don't worry, it's the last round in Photopea. You did it, and you were strong enough. And now we are at the end of the selection session. Let's try the last things we want to learn now with selection. Let's now remove it and add this. Okay, the last two selection tools I want to tell you about is the mask tool, which is you can get it from here. Select quick mask mode, and or you can click on here quick mask mode, this camera here. How to make it is simply by clicking on it. Once you click on it, but before that we want to make another, duplicate this layer and hide this one to don't damage my image. Let's click here on quick mask selection tool. Once clicking, the layer is turned to red, and I can click on the paint, and now let's paint on my image. Yes, I am painting on my image. Now what happens is that I can paint on it as I like. Okay, what happened is that I clicked on my layer, then I clicked on this tool here, quick mask mode, or I click on select and select quick mask mode. Once I select, this layer is colored red, and I start to paint like this. Okay, but to make it right, let's click D on keyboard. Why click D? Because I want to make this swatch, these colors black and white. So now I am coloring again. What happens now is that I am selecting this area. So once I click again on this camera here, or click again on select and quick mask mode, it made me a selection like this. So if I click delete, that happens. So actually I'm painting what I don't want to select. So I can select inverse and make like this and delete. The benefits of it is that I can click on it and paint as much as I can with black. Black, it means that I don't want it to be selected. Or white, that means I click X to toggle between these two colors. Or white to tell him I want to select this area. This means that I can move, I can zoom in and start to paint with black color that will paint a red color. But you select this black color here, and you paint. You can paint as you want, and select and click on it again. The class will end after 5 minutes. Click on quick mask mode and we'll select this white area and deselect this black area. Okay. The last selection, this selection tool, actually I don't use it a lot because I don't feel very relaxed with it. I don't feel very. I can't be very controlling on it. But the last selection tool is this pen tool here. When I click on it, I can use it as the polygonal tool. But what is the difference? First of all, I have to click here to check path, and I click like this. The properties, I have to make it path, not shape. We didn't take the shape yet. I can make it like the polygonal tool. So what is the difference? The difference is if I click and hold now and drag, I can make a curve line like this, not the polygon tool. And if I want to manage the curve, I can click Alt and hold and manage these curves. And let's close it. After closing, we have to click right click and make selection and click OK. Now it's a selection and I can delete it. But it's 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 an advanced tool, and it's very important if you want to make the selection in an advanced way, right? Like for example, you are making a selection for an agency or something, but most of the time for normal users you will not need this pen tool ever. So actually we finished now. We finished the hard and the practical part of the selection, and now you can use most of the selection tools in the world. I mean the world, not only Photopea, because if you open now Photoshop, it's opening. I'm sorry, it's 2 minutes, and this session will finish. If I clicked on create new project and created, this is Photoshop actually. If I clicked here, you will find the rectangle selection tool and the ellipse tool and the lasso tool and the polygonal and the magnetic and the object selection tool and the quick selection and the magic selection, and also we'll find the color range, and you will find the modify and the refine edge also you can find it, and also we can find the pen tool and also the magic eraser tool. So actually you have all the selection tools here. Maybe Photoshop is industry standard and have some advanced settings, but it has all these tools. So if you write quick selection tool online, you will find actually some very websites, a lot of websites that allow you to make a quick selection tool online other than Photopea and Photoshop. And also, if you want a tutorial, you can click the tutorial here. You will find a video for Photoshop. Okay, I want a video for GIMP. You can find a video for GIMP. So the quick selection tool is also in GIMP, and you can also write, for example, Photopea, and you will find a tutorial for Photopea. So the quick selection tool and all these tools actually is in every software, in every application on the mobile application, in every place. So actually you know how to select anything in the world, not only in Photopea. Now that was the graphic board actually. Thanks. So actually you can download anything now, any application, and you can find it very well. Okay, that was the graphic part and the practical part of the session. Now let's jump to the design part, and don't worry, it will take a minute, not more than that. The design part is the way of thinking. So you don't select at first. You have to think first and then select. So what I mean by this image was a thumbnail for my YouTube channel, which is called Ali Shorish here. This is the video actually. It have 8K, 8,000 views. Alhamdulillah. I was in for this video. I wanted to make a thumbnail for so this is a thumbnail that was in my head. So how to make a design? First of all, you have to imagine it on your head before jumping to Photopea. When you are practicing a lot and you are very familiar with the software, you can jump to Photopea quick. But first of all, now before making anything, we have first to think in our head about the design. After thinking, the first question we have is what the separated image that we have to collect and select to make our design. For example, the question now: what are the separated images that I used to get this image? This image I made, the thumbnail image, is made of what images? Can anyone tell me?
Do you mean PNG or JPEG? Either one?
It doesn't matter. If it is a PNG, so it's selected and cut it for you. It's JPG. If it was a JPG, you can you cut it on yourself. You bring a big photo and you cut it on yourself.
Okay.
So how many elements here I have to cut to combine together? For example, the answer is I had to get this folder icon from Google and cut it on my own, and also remove from it the place of my hand here to make my hand above it. So I removed this area from it to make assume as if my hand over the root or over the folder image, but in the reality it's not over it. I only erased the folder icon. I get this hard drive image and I cut it and put it here. The laptop I cut it and put it here. The phone I cut it and put it here. And also the shadows. The shadows is I made a selection on an empty layer, and I painted it with a black color, and I removed the opacity. Or I can make it with transform options. Like for example, I can take this image and control and select it and make it all in black, and now I can make it like
Ali,
yes.
isn't it time to leave or
Yes,
what time to...
1 minute, I leave now.
Okay.
Now I made this photo and I make it like this, and by transform options, edit, transform, free transform. Let's make it like this and this, and let's yes, and remove the opacity. Now it's a shadow. Now I can make it like put this layer above. Now it's a shadow for him. So it's only about thinking how to make a design. So actually you can make a photo like this without the text and this outer glow. So actually it's a way of thinking. So the last question is to ask yourself after collecting the images is how to cut the image. For example, to cut this image, we can use a selection tool and a refine edge. To cut this, we can use quick selection tool, and this we have to use refine edge. And that's it. That is the design part. So any questions?
Why is your YouTube channel in Arabic?
What?
Your YouTube channel, all the videos are in Arabic.
Because if you watch my last session, I'm actually Egyptian. I live in Egypt, so my native language is Arabic, and all my subscribers are Arabic. But there is some videos are subtitled in English. I will try to make other videos in subtitled also. Okay. Any questions in this session?
In the images that you transpose, what about the word root? Did you write that in, or did you also
What about
Is
what?
that one of the the word?
root on the file?
Okay.
Yes.
The word root actually it's a text, a normal text, and I made a transform options on it, so it be have a perspective like this. I made text. We didn't take the text yet, so no problem. Root. I typed root, and then I clicked edit, free transform. I make it bigger and right click and make it have a perspective. So a text can't have a perspective. So I right click and convert it to a rasterized image and click again edit, free transform, and let's click perspective and make it like this. Okay, like this. And we maybe make a distort like this. It's similar to it, but it took me a more time to do it perfect. And about this light on the text, this is called layer style, and we didn't take it yet.
So I would suggest that I will send you the emails for all the students, and whoever wanted the recording can have access to it afterward the class. So
Okay.
because
Bye.